Governor, good afternoon. Secretary Benson has said while she's very thankful for the extra time allowing the clerks to count ballots, absentee ballots, she's also said it's simply not enough time and is unsure whether many clerks will even take the opportunity to use those extra 10 hours. Considering, and knowing that Michigan is such an important state nationally and how close the numbers were during the last presidential election, how concerned are you that clerks are simply not going to have enough time, that the country is going to be waiting for our results until Friday?
Hank, you're my hero. You asked an election question. Thank you. And with that, I am going to ask our Secretary of State, one of the national experts in this field, to address it. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And as the Governor knows, and Hank, as I think you know, I am very concerned. I would have and have been for 18 months now asking the legislature to have our laws reflect what states who have had this level of absentee ballot voting for a number of years, what their laws reflect are the best practices, which is that at least 7 days are needed for ballots to be pre-processed in order to have a direct impact and get results in sooner. But importantly, I also want to make sure, so yes, as we've all said, this legislation today is a step in the right direction. It does not go far enough to ensure that to enable me to assure the public that our clerks, who will be working as hard and as efficiently as they can from the moment the polls close to the moment we announce the full count of the results, they will be working efficiently to process and tabulate those ballots safely and securely. But giving them, in some communities with 25,000 or more, the choice to, with additional record keeping and reporting, have 10 extra hours on the front end to open envelopes, that's great. Step in the right direction. It's not enough. States like Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio, Florida give their local clerks significantly more time, in some cases weeks more, to begin this process. But here we are. I'll also mention what my office has done, which is double, in some cases triple, the number of high-speed ballot tabulators, automatic envelope openers, and other equipment that our clerks can utilize to increase their capacity and efficiency of the process. We have recruited over 26,000 new election workers all across the state, many of whom will be helping to increase the number of people who can help with this process. So we will ensure that it is as efficient as possible, and I will assure the nation of that come election night and the days that follow. But what is also important for all of us is that as those ballots are tabulated, whether it takes 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, that process is methodical, it's secure, and when it's done, the results are accurate. So at this point, that's what we're all going to prioritize, and we appreciate the legislature taking one small step to assist us. I don't know, Mary Clark, if you'd like to add anything to that as a clerk representative today.
Thank you. I think it's important for people to understand what the process actually is. We have to remember that people are entitled to cast a ballot or return their ballot up until 8 p.m. So every clerk's office will have dozens to hundreds to thousands of ballots that are returned from 7 to 8 p.m., plus every new potential voter that is in line in a clerk's office at 8 p.m. to register to vote is entitled to have a ballot that they can mark and cast election night. So we will have ballots that have to go to an AV counting board after 8 p.m., possibly after 9 p.m. In the August election, we had people in our lobby. In the March presidential primary, we had a line in our lobby. So it's just, there's a lot of factors that come into play to understand that it isn't a magic button that gets pushed at 8 p.m. And that's what I encourage people to appreciate: the process, the freedom and the right we offer people to register to vote and to vote in Michigan and in the United States, and to appreciate the accuracy and the integrity that we as clerks are absolutely committed to for each and every one of our residents. Thank you.